The glass tower loomed above the city, its windows glittering in the afternoon sun like blades of arrogance. Inside, on the top floor, a billionaire CEO named Victor Halden sat behind a mahogany desk worth more than most people's annual salary. His empire stretched across industries, tech, finance, media. To him, people were pawns. Replaceable. Disposable. But that day, he faced a problem no one on his team could solve. A massive projector, a cutting-edge artificial intelligence system designed to predict financial markets, was malfunctioning. Billions of dollars and his reputation were on the line. The launch was in 3 days, and his army of engineers was helpless. His frustration spilled into cruelty. He slammed his fist on the table, scattering papers. His voice thundered through the boardroom. "If someone can fix this damn system," he sneered, his lip curling, "I'll give them $100 million. Hell, I don't care if it's the janitor. Fix Ida and it's yours." The room went silent. He didn't mean it. Everyone knew. It was his way of humiliating his overpaid staff. They bowed their heads, defeated. What Victor didn't know was that just outside the door, a young woman had heard every word. Her name was Elena. She was only 22, with big brown eyes that seemed to carry both fear and determination. Her mother, Rosa, was the maid who scrubbed the CEO's penthouse floors and emptied his trash. Elena wasn't supposed to be there that day, but Rosa had begged her daughter to help with the heavy laundry because her back had been giving out. Elena wasn't just anyone. She had been a prodigy in school. Math, coding, problem-solving came as naturally as breathing. But when her father died, and medical bills drowned the family, Elena had to drop out of college. She worked odd jobs while supporting her younger brother's studies, her dreams shoved into the shadows. When she heard the CEO's bitter challenge, something inside her stirred. $100 million. It was an impossible amount, but if there was even a chance, a broken bar that money could free her family from poverty, pay for her mother's treatment, send her brother to the best universities. Her heart raced. She whispered to herself, "I can fix it." That night, while her mother slept, Elena returned to the building. She knew the cleaners' schedules. She slipped inside unnoticed. Armed with nothing but an old laptop she had refurbished from scraps, she connected to the company's system through the staff network, a weekly secured access point most executives never considered. The challenge was brutal. The AI system wasn't just broken, it was fundamentally flawed. The algorithms had biases, feedback loops that spiraled out of control, and a hidden vulnerability that could be exploited by hackers. Elena stared at the code for hours, her eyes burning, fingers trembling over the keys. Her biggest obstacle wasn't just the code, it was her own doubt. A voice in her head taunted her, "You don't belong here. You're just a maid's daughter. They'll laugh at you." But louder than doubt was her memory of her mother's weary smile, the nights her brother studied by candlelight, the promise she had made to herself that she would not let her family remain invisible forever. So she worked. Through the night. Through her exhaustion. She rewrote entire sections of code, rebuilt models, tested, failed, tested again. At dawn, with the city waking below, she had something extraordinary. She had not only fixed the flaws but improved the system beyond anything Victor's engineers could have dreamed. The next morning, she walked into the skyscraper. The staff looked at her with confusion, whispering. She asked to see Victor. At first, the guards laughed. But when she calmly showed them the prototype on her laptop, a model running smoothly with flawless predictions, they grew uneasy. Within minutes, she was escorted upstairs. Victor sat in his leather chair, impatient as ever. When Elena stepped forward, laptop in hand, he raised an eyebrow. "You?" he scoffed. "The maid's daughter? Don't waste my time. She swallowed her fear and opened the screen. Lines of code danced before him. Then the system booted a stable, clean, efficient. It solved every problem his team had failed to crack. The predictions rolled out, accurate to the decimal. Victor leaned forward, his face draining of arrogance. His jaw tightened. For once, the man who had everything was speechless. Impossibly broken bar, he muttered. How broken bar? Elena met his gaze, her voice steady. You said anyone who fixed it would get 100 million. The boardroom fell silent. Every executive present knew he had said it. They had heard the sneer, the promise made in arrogance. Victor froze, his pride battling with the truth. If he paid, he'd be forced to honor the word he thought was a joke. If he didn't, the scandal would spread. The mighty Victor Halden breaking his own promise to a maid's daughter who had outsmarted him. In the end, his hand trembled as he signed the contract. Elena didn't just receive money. She received recognition. Headlines roared across the world, Maid's daughter outsmarts billionaire's tech team. But Elena didn't spend her fortune on luxury cars or mansions. She used it to change lives. She paid off her mother's debts, funded her brother's education, and started a foundation to give scholarships to underprivileged kids with talent but no resources. She built tech labs in neighborhoods that corporations ignored. Victor? He tried to bury the humiliation, but he never forgot the moment he was forced to look at the maid's daughter and realize she had done what billions of his dollars couldn't. His empire survived, but his pride never fully recovered. Elena became a symbol not just of brilliance, but of resilience. Of the truth that genius can rise from anywhere, that greatness isn't determined by wealth or titles, but by courage, persistence, and heart. And every time she looked at her mother, no longer bent with exhaustion but smiling, proud, free, Elena knew she had fixed more than just a machine. She had fixed a future. Because sometimes, the world underestimates the quiet ones. And sometimes, the maid's daughter is the one who rewrites destiny. Aodiasis message for the audience: never let where you come from decide where you're going. Talent, grit, and courage can break ceilings that arrogance builds.